And
We are live. Hello, beautiful souls. Merry Christmas to all of you who are celebrating it. We are here in 11th episode of Extraordinary Light Show. Well, I'm here with my friend Lily, and she wants to say hi to you.
hello, guys. I'm so excited to be here. I was just dancing before we got on air.
Well, Lily almost fell down before we got on there.
I almost fell down. That's okay.
That's how she makes me laugh. So I have this positive energy, and I can transcend it to you guys. So thank you.
I also shared with Alexandra that I'm sweating because I'm using natural deodorant.
Which is not working.
I'm not going to give up, though. I think I will find a natural deodorant that will work for me.
Oh, yes, I agree.
Eventually, but it hasn't worked so far.
You should, try to make your own. Experiment a little bit.
My friend made some for me, and no, it didn't work.
Well, then your friend needs to improve. You're getting there.
It's good that people can't smell through the YouTube channel.
Well, this is a very beautiful start of our conversation, Lily. Thank you.
Where's everybody today? Where's everybody?
Everybody's sleeping because it's the day after Christmas.
Guys.
And this is our last episode in this year. The whole year is gone. 2017 is ending. Can you believe that?
Okay, well, you know what? Let's talk about that then. Let's talk about 2017, Alexandra. What has happened?
Oh, so many things happened. And this was an amazing year for me, I would say. I met a lot of really good friends, and I connected with you. I started my little business. Yeah, a lot of things. And it's kind of my whole life shifted on the other way, and I'm liking it so far. And I'm just getting started, so 2018 should be even better and more amazing. So
I think so too. I like it.
And it was a pretty big year for you too. Yeah.
I know. It was a really big year. It was the year, well, I think a lot of these changes started in 2015. 2015 is when I had the worst year of my life. I had a breakdown. I wasn't being myself at all. And then 2016 was all about like trying to figure out who I am and trying different paths. And then 2017 was me actually taking action in all the things I used to do. And 2018, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen in 2018? It's going to be fun.
I just want to say hi to Clifford. Merry Christmas to you and your family. He's saying hi in the chat.
Yes, Clifford is watching us. Aww. That's nice.
His little boy is awesome. Little cutie. I love seeing people together around, and that's what I want to say. Like, people gather around for holidays, and it's very important for them to be together. But then the whole year, not so much. So I think we should talk about it more often and change that, because.
What do you mean? What do you mean the whole year, not so much?
Well, it's not like priority to be with your family, or not family, but maybe people you really truly care about. Like, I know people, everybody getting together for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, for birthdays, right? But we should do it more often and just turn off the social media and turn off the job and everything. Just, see what is important to you and take care of you more often and be with people who you truly love. And more than just a few times a year. So.
That's true, right? I think the holiday season kind of brings out a lot of realness in people. I think you really know who you want to be around and who you don't want to be around. I think I don't do it anymore, but I spent many years of my life just because it's Christmas, I would see certain people that I didn't want to see, because it was just customary. And now I don't do that at all. I will only see people that I really want to see, and that's it. And yeah, of course. And a lot of those people I see on a regular basis anyway. So it kind of goes back to your point. If you love these people and you want to see them more often, you could do that. And sure, you know, geographically, sure, it's not possible. Maybe you're visiting people, but there's such thing as Skype and Google Hangout. There's lots of things you can do. Look at right now. Look at what we're doing.
Yeah,
we still get to see each other, and we live in completely different places in the world. So I like it. I like it.
Yes.
It's good. It's good. Spend time with people who care about you and you care about.
Yes.
Stop worrying about other things, guys. All right.
And I love this point. You don't need to be with somebody just because it's your family or just because it's your long-term friend. If you don't feel like it, don't do it.
No, I'm trying to make Alexandra laugh. I'm doing squats.
Lily's exercising. Yeah, that's her new resolution.
I'm exercising as we talk. It's good. It's part of my New Year's resolution to be more fit.
Yeah,
there you go.
You're working on it already. That's awesome.
See? There you go. All right, Alexandra. As always, I bring Alexandra questions from people that are my coaching clients and people from our YouTube channel as well. So the first question comes from Arman. So he says, hello, my name is Arman. Last year we had official exams and he's naming an arbitrary number. I'm assuming it's great. So he said, so I did great, but now I am lazy and lost, but I need someone to talk to and tell me what to do. So when you achieve something really big and you feel great, and then now he has lost it. He's lazy, he says.
That's coming back to the thing that we were talking about, and that's your big mission, your dream. What you are going after? Because when you have this big mission, then you like chunk it down and you make yourself goals, and then after you finish one goal, there is always another one. Because if we don't have something to looking forward, something to work towards, then we're just gonna be lazy. And that's happened to all of us. I remember this year in January, my husband and I, we ran a half a marathon. So we were starting to prepare a few months prior to that. And we were running almost every day. It was like long runs and short runs. And we always find the time and energy because it was our priority. And we knew that we are going somewhere and we had this goal. And I remember I was keep saying that after we finish this, I will continue running. I love how I feel when I run. So as soon as we finish half a marathon race, then I said, okay, I'm just gonna, take a little break because we were very tired, blah, blah, blah. And then I didn't do it like for like half a year, right? I didn't do another run because I didn't have something to look up to, like something like goal bigger than just, oh, I'm just gonna go and run. And now I kind of set up to myself, I'm running because of my health. I'm running because I feel good, not because I need to achieve something, right, that goal. So that's the first thing when we setting up goals, I think that we need to look forward. He's looking for his exam because it's his exam, and then he's studying because of that. Or you're studying because you want to learn and you want to improve yourself and get better. So like define your goals and your why and why you're doing whatever you are doing. So that's kind of all mixed together in one answer.
Yeah, no, it's good though. It's having the mission and understanding why it is that you're doing the things you're doing. I think for a lot of people, and I have to remind myself a lot, I feel like sometimes I live in a bubble and I'm around amazing people. I mean, a lot of it has to do with the work that I have done. I feel like I know myself really well. I'm surrounded by people who know themselves really well, and they all have missions that they're on. But there are also a lot of people who don't really know what it is that they want, and they don't really know what it is that they really want to go after. Do you have any suggestions in how to find that for some people who have, like, they don't even have the awareness to know what it is that they want?
That was actually what I was talking with my husband the other day, like we said, in a bubble. And I also like live in this bubble, and I assume that people want to improve and learn, and then I said, you know what, no. Like people, everybody love each other and love themselves, and it's not like that, right? So this is what our job is about, and this is what we're here to wake up people and show them that they can decide what they want, they can have a big mission, they deserve it to have it. And a lot of people are afraid to have a big vision and a dream. And so they're just, I remember I was like that. So I was like, I don't know what is my mission, what I want to do. And if only I knew everything would be easy. And then up till a point when I said, you know what, like, let me just let it go. And like in my meditation, I was asking like why I cannot figure it out. So answer came, and it was just because I wouldn't have any excuse why I'm not doing my mission, right? Why I'm not living my mission. So maybe the person doesn't know what is his path because he's afraid that maybe he would fail. So it's easier to say, oh, I'm lost and lazy, than actually to go try, do something and fail. So just first release this fear, I would say, and work on that, and then do some experiments. Do things that excite you. Go around, go for a walk, go do some activities, journal, ask yourself, keep asking yourself, what should I do today? What excites me today? And go one day at a time. And once you just find yourself doing things you love, and you will be very excited about your life and every day when you wake up. So just like small steps. You don't need to go and say, oh, wow, I'm changing the world today, and go outside and do whatever, go for, you know, I don't know. So just small steps.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Small steps could lead to bigger things. One of the things that I used to love doing is taking walks in nature. I think connecting with nature kind of reminds me of who I am. But, you know, finding who you are is a journey that will happen for the rest of your life. And that's something that I've been on the journey since, you know, a few years ago. And I still feel like there's a lot of things that I'm discovering about myself. There are certain things I still surprise myself sometimes. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I'm kind of like this. Usually I surprise myself about how funny I am.
Like right now, for example.
Yes, I know. But it's something that I've been on for a long time. And also I've been battling my own things at the same time. Recently, I lost someone that was really close to me about a couple of weeks ago. He actually passed away on my birthday, which was really hard for me to deal with. And on the same week, I almost lost something that was incredibly important to me. When things like that happen to you, you have a tendency of like forcing yourself to find your why. And I had to go back and find out what it is that I stood for. Why am I even on this earth? And yeah, I think I finally am brave enough and courageous enough to actually say what my why is. Because before that, I would somehow articulate it, then I'll bring it back, and then articulate it, bring it back, and then articulate it, bring it back. It's like maybe it's around extraordinary, it's about true potential. But what I really want to do in this world is to encourage every single human being to embrace who they truly are and find out what they truly want out of life. And that's what I want. And I had a huge problem in articulating it and spreading that message because I wasn't sure if I was okay with that with myself. So I had to let go of a lot of things, which I have done in the past couple of weeks. And then now it's like, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. And it feels right. I've never felt so clear in my entire life until last little while. Thank you. And it took a lot. Like it took a lot out of me. It took me losing someone I really loved. And it took me almost losing something that I really cared about to actually force myself into really figuring out who I was. So
this is so powerful and important, and I'm really hoping that people are hearing this, that we do need to have negative things And this is life, right? It's not all cupcakes and roses. And it's amazing how we learn faster and how we get stronger when something negative, sad, or scary happened to us. So because we as humans, we are very capable of surviving and getting stronger only if we let ourselves to be that way. So I applaud you, Lily, for all of that you've been through and everything. You came up so stronger and more, even if it's possible, more extraordinary than before. So
thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's hard. It's even harder to talk about, I think. There was this this podcast I was listening to with Tim Ferriss and Michael Gervais. Amazing, both amazing guys. Like Tim Ferriss, you guys know him from the 4-Hour Workweek, Tribe of Mentors he wrote, and Michael Gervais is a sports psychologist. So what he does is he trains athletes for high performance, and he does a lot of mindfulness training at the same time. So he does a lot of that. And they were talking about if there was a mandatory course that you can design for schools that the kids have to take, what would it be? And Michael Gervais answered the question by saying, well, this is going to get dangerous because I really don't want to answer this question. And he believes that a lot of greatness that happens to people is born out of pain. You know, losing something extremely important to you, getting something taken away from you, you almost losing your life. And he feels that a lot of the times in the world that we live in, we're so adverse to pain that we want to protect ourselves all the time. But really it's through pain where we discover ourselves and our mission and find out who we really are, like what we're made of. Like we're really strong human beings. Human beings are strong. Like our bodies might be a little bit fragile. We break things and things happen, but the human spirit is very robust and very strong. And we need to go through tough times.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I always say the story about the Holocaust and everything that happened and all these unbelievable people, and how is that even possible, right? How is it possible to survive something like that? And it is possible, right? So I always look back to that. I always remind myself of that and always say, if all these amazing people can survive that, then this what I'm going through is nothing. And that gives me energy and not just motivation, but hope that whatever I'm going through, it's just possible to, you know, overcome, because we are capable of an amazing things. So, and don't be scared of the pain. Pain is awesome.
I know. I don't know why there's a really it's like when you talk about the Holocaust, you think about like that time period, people were a lot more robust and like they dealt with a lot more. And now there's like this whole idea of like pain mitigation. I don't know.
I think the thing that happened at one period, everybody was talking about positive. I know I was in that. When I first heard about law of attraction and positive thinking in my high school, I thought that it's possible to always be in a positive state of mind where nothing negative will ever happen, right? So I was going to to that direction, and I was hoping and creating my life and only cupcakes and roses is gonna be around me.
Cupcakes and roses.
And it's wrong, right? It's not, we are living here and we are not living on the top of the mountain, but nobody's around us. So this is the point of life, right? Ups and downs. And at that point, it's I would say almost dangerous that it was marketing that way, that yes, you just think positive and do these courses and read these books and everything's going to be amazing. And then when something negative happened, we didn't know how to deal with that. So that's why when I'm talking, I believe in the law of attraction, but there is much more deeper than just smile and everything is awesome, right? So I think we need to talk about more the pain and failures and negative circumstances, and how through this pain and suffering, you can create something amazing. And we see like the people who inspire us the most are the people who will suffer the most. And they go through all this pain and everything. Now they're on the other side, and now they're here to help others. So it's kind of what we should talk more about, so people don't be so afraid of the pain, because pain will get you stronger.
Ah, it's so true. It is. It is. I know. But, you know, there are some cupcakes and roses somewhere.
Oh yeah, absolutely, all around us. But
Oh, that's so fun.
that's the point of life, right? All the cupcakes and roses and the other things that we can deal with, right? When we are, and with every negative thing that happens, you get stronger and stronger. And so whatever else is happening, the new things, when you survive the previous one, it gets easier. So
always. And also another thing too, for the people who are watching right now, or the people who are going to watch this episode later on, it doesn't mean that you know, we talked about people going through the Holocaust, and we talked about me losing someone really close to me. It doesn't have to be that traumatic. It could be anything, like anything that will cause you some sort of suffering is what's going to actually teach you a lesson. It could be something about like getting a bad grade in school. You know, that's suffering in itself. You don't have to wait until something huge to happen to you to actually make a change.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe you are surrounded with people who you don't, doesn't support you, and you don't know what to do. Well, you need to, you know, learn something, do something, create something, learn some new skills, so you can get out of that environment and go somewhere where you want to go. So if there were no people around you who would not support you, maybe you would stay there and you would not create something amazing. So whatever happened, you know, try to look at a positive way, but don't like turn off the negative things, because they will actually get you stronger.
Yeah, that's all. I was just thinking about something. I studied psychology in school, and one of the things that we had to do, this is like, I'm talking when I was a lot younger.
Oh, it's because you're now 65 years old, but I
was a lot younger. I went back to school when I went back to school as a mature student. I went back to school for psychology because I was really interested in human behavior, which makes sense. That's what I do now. One of the things we have to do is actually talk about our own suffering. Because I think when you are in a position to help others with their suffering, you need to get very in touch with your own suffering and your own pain. So that way you know how vulnerable it is to be on the other side. I coach people all the time now, and I always feel like there's so much vulnerability there with people sharing all sorts of things with you, and you have to be vulnerable as well. So one of the things that people have to do in the clinical psychology world is they need to get in touch with their own pain and suffering so they could be there for that person. And I remember in school, my pain and suffering, I was like, I haven't gone through any suffering. What do I do? What do I do? And I was just like, this is so embarrassing. I have a pretty damn happy life. What is going on? Right? And so I had to recall something, and I had to go back to like childhood and, you know, not being able to be me and, you know, truly be me. That was the suffering I went through. Now, this was me back then in my early 20s. And then between my early 20s and my early 30s, I suffered a lot.
Well, you were complaining you had no suffering.
I know, see, that's the problem. Guys, be careful what you wish for. And then now I've been through so much that I could go back and write that paper a lot better. But it's important. I think there's something, I think there's a reason why they ask us to write these papers, because they want to understand what everyone's going through.
Yes, cool. And so I think maybe every 10 years we should write a paper like that and see how stronger we got every 10 years.
That's like, my suffering was like, I couldn't wear makeup to school. No, I'm kidding. I wasn't that shallow, but you know, things change, right? As you get older,
yeah, absolutely.
You lose people and all of that. I have a question for you, Alexandra. How do you feel? Because you're a coach yourself, and I'm also a coach. I want to get your opinion on how do you feel about people who are coaches also getting coaches and taking on the role of the client?
I think it's very important.
Okay.
And because we, when you come to the point when you say, oh, you know what, I know everything in the world and I don't need anybody to coach me, then you should just go and retire. And I think as long as we live, there is always going to be something to learn, to improve, especially in our industry when we want to be as best as we can so we can help others. And there is always improvement, always room for improvement. So what do you think?
I like it. Well, I believe in that too. I believe that I have a mentor myself. Evan is my mentor. He helps me out with a lot of things. And recently what I started doing was to reach out to other coaches who I don't know personally. So one of the people that I reached out to, his name is Josh Pice. He's an actor, and he created this online course called Committed Impulse, which is really, really good.
Oh, I think cool. I need to check it out.
Yeah, it's very good. It's all about presence, having presence for yourself, having presence for others. And there's a lot of, again, mindfulness techniques that goes into it. So it's good. It's good. And so that's what I've been doing recently to learn a little bit more. I've been reaching out to different types of coaches, psychotherapists to help me out. But I was thinking recently, I haven't been to a psychotherapist in a while. I went to a psychotherapist once because I wanted to find out how it was like to be on the other side.
Uh-huh. And how was it?
How was it? I don't know. I feel like maybe I wasn't open enough at the time. Again, I was like 20 years old. And she basically told me that you have all the answers. And I never went back to her. I think I wasn't ready. I wasn't vulnerable enough. And she was probably like, I don't want to deal with you. You're not open. If you don't speak to me, I can't help you. I'm actually in the process of doing that myself. I would like to see someone. I think there's something very powerful in knowing how it's like to be on the other side, because now I have coached hundreds of people, and I ask them like really personal questions. They share their deep, dark secrets with me, and I want to know how it feels like to be on the other side, because I never want to get too far away from how the person feels. So I'm in the process. I'm trying to find a psychotherapist in my neighborhood, see if I could find someone. But there's so many. It's hard. It's hard to find like the one that you feel that would work well with you.
Yeah, and you need really to trust that person, because you're going to share your deep secrets. So yeah, and like you said, it's the same thing with the coaches. I think there's so many now. I say, oh, another life coach. Oh, why are you gonna do that? And there is so many, but there's also so many people who need the coach or somebody to help them out. So
yeah,
just need to feel it. Listen to your intuition, and you will find the right person for you.
I'm gonna make some phone calls and see which therapist to use. I already see it not going so well. This is how it's gonna be. I was like, I know what you're gonna talk about. Listen, just give me point forms in how to fix my life. I am not interested in talking about my feelings. I know how this is gonna go. And then the therapist is like, oh gosh.
You can just pretend that you are like psychiatrist, and then you can write the questions that you would ask somebody else, and then just answer them.
No, I can't do that. Oh my God, it's so funny. This reminded when I was in university, we had this like a fun machine. Like it's you type in your problems, and your therapist will tell you something.
Uh-huh.
Right? I forget her name. She had a name. Let's call her Susan. Let's call her Susan, Dr. Susan. So we'll type in. It's like, Dr. Susan, I feel very sad today. Right? And then she says, why do you feel like you're sad today?
Oh my God.
and it's like, I feel like you're not understanding me. And then Dr. Susan, why do you think I don't understand you?
Yeah, I think it can be frustrating for many people.
Funny. It's so funny. We had a lot of fun in psychology when I was in school. It was fun.
Yeah, I can see. Cool.
It's good times.
Look at all these beautiful souls in the chat. Hello. There's my husband. Happy holidays.
Oh, Positive Vibes is in the house.
Yay. What's up, Positive Vibes? And our Bo, and he never gonna let go of Squid Love.
Bo, you are slacking big time today. You're not doing a live with me today, but look at Alexandra. She's up and running, and you're not.
Bo, no excuses. But Merry Christmas, Bo. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas.
And Melissa. Merry Christmas, Melissa. Melissa.
Hello, Melissa. Melissa, nice to see you. I think she's in her hometown. She's back home.
Yes, with her family and her beautiful kids. And Bo from 4 Minutes Masters says, Tony Robbins says every coach needs a coach. Yes.
It is true. It is absolutely true. I agree. I agree.
Oh, I actually remember now when I was watching, it was Lisa Nichols, also coach. So she was talking about when she was at Oprah's show, and Oprah asked her, like between the cuts, when it was the break, Oprah asked her, like, how many coaches do you have? It wasn't the question, do you have a coach? The question was, how many coaches you have? So Lisa Nichols responds, 2. She said, cool. So they started again, show went back on. So on the next break, Lisa asked Oprah, so how many coaches do you have? And Oprah said, 4. So Lisa said, what I did the first thing when I end the show, I hired 2 more coaches. So you do need to have coaches in different areas, right? Doesn't have all to be personal development. So you can, be in balance and harmony in all areas in your life.
That's true. That's true. I need more coaches. I need to go hire more coaches.
Yeah,
I need to have 4. I want to have 4 coaches. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Handle. Oh my goodness. It's kind of funny though, because I always feel like I'm going to try to outsmart my coaches. Because I'm like, I know what you're trying to do. I know this trick. I do it too. And they're like, no, Lily. See, I already know what's happening. I'm making up an entire skit in my head and how I'm going to work with my coaches.
You see? Poor Evan now. Everything he do now, you would say, Evan, I know.
I know what you're trying to do. It's not working.
I need a coach for my marketing strategy. And also, I think we both need the fitness coach.
Fitness coach.
Somebody's gonna be here and say, you know what, do your squats.
I am my fitness coach. It's so funny. One of my clients is actually a fitness coach. Maybe we should trade coaching sessions.
Yeah, see?
He'll coach me to be fit and I'll help him with his personal development.
Yeah, make it work. See?
I know, it's true. It's true. Alexandra, speaking of which, we had a challenge last week.
Yes. How did you do the challenge?
I think it went really well. I would say, so our challenge last week was to send our love to someone, to a different person every day.
Every day.
Correct. Yes. Okay. So I did a few things. It started off with my parents, with my mom. So I started, my mom is stay-at-home mom, so I wanted to spend some time with her. And a lot of the times with my mom, I don't really, how do I say this in a nice way?
Be careful, your mom may be watching.
I know, how do I say this in a nice way? I don't really care about a lot of the things that my mom talks about.
That was very nice.
That was not very nice. I know. So my way of showing her love was really trying to understand where she's coming from, even though we are very different. My mom and I are complete opposites. We're very, very different. The only similarity that her and I have in common is that she's very generous. And I learned that from her. I learned from her to be generous and to give without expecting anything in return. So that's where we're very similar. The rest were different. So I came from a place of understanding with my mom, and with my dad, I'm still waiting, but it's not working for him. I hug him every time I see him for long periods of time to see if he'll hug me back. He still hasn't done it. My dad doesn't know how to hug people. It's the strangest thing.
You need to do a different approach.
When I hug him, he just stands there with his hand. I'm like, Dad, you have to hug me. Like, what is going on? But I also feel like he's doing it on purpose to kind of bother me.
To provoke you.
To provoke me, yes. What about you?
I'm doing this little challenge on my own, and I was, of course, sending to my family, and what I did is I found few people that are like starting YouTube channel or doing something. There was one girl who is singing, starting like on her own, so I was sending them a support and just love, and to see like it's not easy, you're starting, but just keep going forward. and it's surprising like how small things can really change somebody's life and day, right? So, and then you feel better, and then you want to do it more often. So I will continue doing this. I think it's very amazing and powerful, and then maybe I will actually, because I didn't journal about it, so I didn't write it down. So maybe I will do that. And then sometimes if I feel down and I have a bad day, maybe I can just read that and see how many people I made feel good. So that's going to make me feel better. So that's one of the things that I'm thinking of doing. So I absolutely love our channel challenge. So
I like it. Actually, you reminded me of something. I used to do that. I used to schedule a time a week to drop by different people's YouTube channels and give them a good comment and like actually watch their videos and then leave a kind comment. I think that's so important to do because when I first started out making my videos on Evan's channel, I had no idea that people would actually respond to me. I'm like, I don't know. And I had all of these beautiful comments of like words of support and encouragement, which helped me make more videos and keep me going. So I think it's very important to give back. So I will go back. I'll put it into my calendar every week to go back and write a nice comment, just randomly, anybody, right? Yeah, anybody who's starting out, especially when you're starting out, it's hard. It's hard to keep it going and there's no comments and you don't know if you're doing well or not.
So that's why I love my mom and Melissa. They're always comment.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. It really does.
Yeah, and all these beautiful souls and Cliff is commenting. So and it really, like you said, really makes a difference. And I know that because I'm still starting. So it's not like, oh, I'm so like professional right now. I'm still starting all this YouTube thing. And I know how important it is to get a support. So I want to do my part, right? And how I can expect support if I'm not giving it. So
yeah, I like it. And all these lovely people with their comments in the chat, even though it's a holiday.
Speaking of beautiful souls who are commenting, there is a nameless. His name is John, but he's nameless. And he say hello. Hello. And Melissa, I love my meditation sister. We meditate together.
Do you? What do you mean you meditate together?
Well, she was having a guided meditation on her channel, which is amazing. And I'm hoping she will do more of those in 2018. And I did one. I was meditating on my roof and Daniel was filming me. So I posted and it was just music and me meditating. So I kind of want to inspire people to meditate with me, just put the music on and relax. So she did that. So we kind of meditating together. So now we are meditation sister.
Oh, that is nice. That is nice. Meditation is very important. It's quite important. I don't think I need to convince Alexandra of that.
Well, no, I can talk about it all day long.
You can. Yeah, I started doing a lot more meditation, and I actually started bringing it into my coaching sessions.
Yes.
As well. I started off. I start off each call with a meditation because it's important. It's important to be present for each other, no matter what. And it's hard. There's no other moment than the moment right now.
Exactly.
Always keeping things in perspective. And I know, like, I get distracted easily, very easily, and then I have to always bring it back as well. It's important.
Yes. And I just want to tell you a little like technique that you can do. Doesn't have to be the whole meditation. So in the High Performance Habits, the Brendon Burchard book, he's talking about release the tension and set intention. So between everything you do, so maybe you were like, I'm doing this call, and now after we hang up, I'm gonna go and cook a dinner, right? Or I'm gonna go for a walk, right? So then what you do when you finish with one activity, you close your mind, you close your eyes and your mind, and you breathe and you say, okay, like I'm letting go of this activity, and now I want to go and cook dinner. So how I want to do it and what I want to feel, how I want my husband to feel, right? So you set an intention, how you're going to feel, what you're going to do, and then you go up and do it. Like it can be 1 or 2 minutes, you just breathe and you know, stop doing like emails or whatever, and you go up to a next activity. So one activity at a time. Multitasking does not exist. And yeah, it can help you because then you're really present in whatever activity you're doing.
Yeah, I'm shaking my head. I stopped multitasking years ago. I'm all about monotasking all the time. I used to be the person that multitasked all the time. It's like I'll be on the phone, I'll be typing something, and I'll be like cooking something with my foot. You know, I did so many things at the same time, and I thought that I was getting so much done, and it was not true at all. I was just getting distracted constantly. So now I'm a strong believer in monotasking. I just can focus on one thing at a time and then move on to the next thing. You feel like you achieve a lot more at the end of the day when you do that.
And you are. So multitasking does not exist.
No, you just get distracted. Multitasking is another word for distraction. Stop it. Stop letting people tell you lies. Lies, I tell you.
Stop multitasking.
Lies.
And I just want to say something. Every episode so far, we had Danica. Danica was here all the time. So she texted me today before the show, and she said, oh, I'm sorry, I cannot come. She's having some things to do. And I felt so good and so connected to her because she said it's very, very important to her. She loves to watch us. And I just love that we created something like this when somebody's actually looking forward to come and watch our show. So I just want to say hi to Danica, and that was very, very sweet of you, Danica.
Oh, Danica. Awesome. Alexandra, I know we're getting close. Oh, we're over our time. But there's one comment that I really want to address.
Okay.
Okay. So our friend Nameless over here is saying, meditation is doing the hardest thing for any human being. Sit and do absolutely nothing. What do you think?
Exactly. Speaking of our multitasking, right? And I always say, like, if you cannot sit quietly, do nothing with yourself, and you cannot be just in like presence of yourself, how you're expecting from others to be comfortable with you around. So it's very simple as that. So, I mean, it's easier said than done, but that's why you need to meditate every day and learn how to be comfortable with yourself. So then other people will be comfortable with you around as well.
Yeah. There you go, Nameless. There you go.
Thank you, Nameless.
Alexandra dropped some wisdom for you. I think what it really helped, because I used to be like that too. I'm like, what do you mean? I have to sit here and do nothing. What I do is I practice bringing my thoughts back, and always like whether if it's like focus on someone's voice. Guided meditation is really good for that sense. You could just focus on their voice. Both Melissa and Alexandra have content on their channel to help you with your guided meditation. Melissa has her beautiful voice. Alexandra has beautiful music in the background. So always focusing on that kind of helps. I think it's people think that you have to like sit in a room and stare at a blank wall, which is somewhat true for certain kinds of meditation, but it doesn't have to be that way.
If just when you said talking about if you don't know about the guy who's sitting and smiling is his thing. So he's sitting and smiling like this for 4 hours. And he's recording that. He has a YouTube channel, and that's all he do. he's just sitting and smiling for 4 hours straight, and you can watch it, right, the whole 4 hours. So find what works for you and do that.
It's true. It's true. And I think a lot of it is like people are kind of worried about silence because it's uncomfortable. Like even like talking to people.
Well, if the silence is uncomfortable for you, then you need to meditate 20 minutes in silence and get over that. That's my my advice.
It's like make it awkward. I have a tendency of making things awkward sometimes for people. I was like, it was great seeing you. Then people have to speak. They can't say anything because people are so uncomfortable with silence.
Yeah. Same.
There you go. You're doing it right now. You're uncomfortable with silence.
I was when I was, because sometimes I would watch and learn how to ask better question and how to behave in an interview and what to do. So a lot of people actually talking about the silence and how when you ask question and let's say like I ask you a question and you answer and then I'm quiet, you will have to speak something because you will feel uncomfortable. So you will relieve more things, right? You will say more than you actually sometimes wanted, and you will be more open because you will search, oh my God, what I'm going to say, this is uncomfortable, huh? And then you say more things and you're more open. So that's one of the little tricks of the silence.
I know, I do it too.
Melissa is giving some beautiful advices over here. You can start your meditation with a mantra or guided meditation if you're just getting started. So there is so many techniques and tips and tricks. So there is actually no excuses, my beautiful souls. Yes.
No.
And
not at all.
And we are getting to the end of this beautiful Extraordinary Light Show and this beautiful year, and I'm very grateful to be here with you, Lily. Thank you so much for making my year so amazing and extraordinary, and I'm looking forward to enter the new year with you. Thank you.
I know, it's beautiful. It's we're both growing as time goes on. I know we have been on a separate path and now we're bringing our paths together. It's beautiful. I can't ask for more from you.
Oh, look at all this love and thank you, your beautiful soul, for watching, for coming here, for commenting, for supporting us. It's every comment, every support merit. It's so important and so meaningful to us. So thank you all, and we'll see you in the new year.
Yes, New Year's.
And we have something special coming, but we will talk about it next week.
We have a surprise. We have to talk about it next week. So if you guys want to know what that surprise is, you have to tune in next week.
You see this marketing trick? Now we catch you, and now you need to come back and watch.
See, maybe you don't need a marketing coach.
Yeah, see? Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, Lily. Thank you, my beautiful souls. Lots of love and light to you, and we'll see you next year.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
I love you.
Bye-bye, guys.